Um,
Did you do the audio input?
I did not yet. Let's see. So I'm gonna go to the chat one, right?
Yep, broadcast.
Okay. It wasn't. It didn't come up on mine.
It's Indianola Volleyball on the one to count on for today's local sports coverage. The Indianola Activities YouTube stream. That's going to be tough to get used to. Normally, that's my radio intro. I am Andrew Swadner. We're just volunteering tonight to bring you live Indianola Volleyball regional final coverage on Indianola Activities YouTube. And I have a radio or video debut, an audio debut with me. Joining me, former Indianola Volleyball standout Kylie McVeigh. Kylie, thank you very much for joining us.
Of course.
You now play at Simpson. You used to play for Indianola. For those who don't remember, talk a little bit about your time at Indianola and your connection to this team.
Yeah, so I graduated from Indianola in 2021, where I did play volleyball for Coach Halstead, and I also participated in track as well. And now I go to Simpson and play volleyball. I love it. It's so much fun, but it's so glad and it's so fun to be back in my gym I used to play in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a familiar spot for you and a familiar spot for Indianola. They're looking for their third straight trip to state. They made it in 2022 in Class 4A. They bowed out in the quarterfinals. They fell to Western Dubuque in 5 sets. Last year, they go on a run to the Class 4A state title game, taking down Marion in the quarterfinals. And then Lewis Central in the semifinals fell to North Scott, who just had an absolutely dominant middle in that game. This year in the offseason, they get the notice they're going back up to 5A rather than 4A, a familiar spot for you. You competed in 5A playoffs during your time here at Indianola, and that's just the top talent level in the entire state.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for sure. The atmosphere is really fun to be in overall.
Talk about that, the atmosphere here tonight. Coach Halstead has talked a lot about how the crowd has gotten much better at Indianola over the years. Have you been following it at all? Because this crowd goes nuts for volleyball. They know the rules, Coach Halstead says, which is helpful. He said this crowd is maybe the best Indianola's ever had. Have you been seeing that at all, or what do you remember about the crowd during your time at Indianola?
Yeah, so back when I was here playing volleyball, we did have a big crowd as well, but they didn't necessarily know all of the rules. So sometimes it did get a little tricky. But that always made it super fun, like during timeouts when they do cheers, and if they got on the court and they weren't supposed to be, then we knew about it for sure.
They know they have the announcements. Mr. Rick Wilson over there is getting ready to tell everybody no being on the floor throughout the entire match tonight. I will ask you from Coach Halstead's perspective, you obviously played under him. What's he like before a match like this, before a postseason match? Because it's business as usual for him, and he's getting the athletes and team warmed up right now. What's his mentality going into a match like this?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, I would just say give it all you got. He's very... I wouldn't say calm before a match, but very kind of calm.
Yeah.
Like, he's not super go, 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 go. But on the other hand, he can be, and he just wants every single player to give it their all, leave everything out on the floor, because you never know if it could be your last game or not.
This is a massive senior class for Indianola that, again, has been to state. This could be their 3rd year in a row, and it's supplemented by a group of very talented underclassmen. When you have a team dynamic like that, it's a little bit like Simpson, where there's some seniors who have been around the program for a while and then some talented underclassmen coming in and supplementing those ranks. What's that dynamic like a little bit?
At first, it is challenging because no one knows how the season's going to go, where you're going to play. But once you start playing together and forming that family-like connection on the court, it's a lot easier to maneuver play-to-play routes. And so I would just say once they get to play together, and especially going from freshmen to seniors and playing 4 years, 3 years together, it is a lot easier.
Indianola did graduate their setter last year in Tori Runyon. She was the centerpiece that ran the offense.
Oh, yeah.
How is it adjusting from one setter to the next? Because when you have a setter like Tori last year, it was basically 3 straight years of her running the show. And now it's split between a couple different athletes. I know just taken over a little bit has been Aspen Nelson, but we've also seen a couple other athletes in there getting their time in. Josie McGraw has also been in there for a big amount of assists for this Indianola team. What's that adjustment like going from setter to setter?
I would say I was a DS, so I didn't really have like a setter-hitter connection, but the setter-hitter connection is very big for a team. And so, like I said before, the more you practice and the more you play with someone, is like the chemistry is a lot better. So going from different setters, and even at Simpson, we have ran with multiple setters. So for the hitters, it's extremely difficult because you have to reform the connection with every single setter.
We'll go from the defensive side where you obviously have a lot of experience. How important is that? This is a Valley team that not quite as spread out in their kills. They're run by Kaylin Wieland, who has 159, but 467 assists. And then they have Thea Raridan with 197 kills and Bryn Sabula with 167 kills. So about 2 or 3, 4 athletes or so that are their main kind of outside hitters or wherever they end up being. From a defensive side of things, how do you try to approach that? Knowing who's where on the court is what I'm getting at.
Okay, like on your own team?
Yep.
So just knowing that, it's more about the trust, and you really focus on, like specifically on your own team. When you scrimmage your own team in practices, you really got to know and try and remember where they hit mostly, so you can fix your platform and your angles better to see where they're hitting.
Well, we're going to take a short time out. We're going to crank up the crowd mic so you can hear Mr. Rick Wilson. And this is the intro to Indianola Volleyball Class 4A Region 5 Final. The winner goes to the Extreme Arena in Coralville, Indianola, West Des Moines Valley.
Finals match between the West Des Moines Valley Tigers and your own Indianola Indians. Schools involved and all participants at this contest exhibit good sportsmanship. Please encourage the athletes, coaches, and officials with positive comments and acts. Enjoy the game by being a good sport. Now, let's meet the athletes. For Valley, number 1, a senior, Abby Houston. Number 2, a freshman, Mila Rue. A junior, number 3, Brooklyn Brown. A sophomore, number 4, Bryn Sabula. A freshman, number 6, Anna Fuller. A senior, number 7, Jackie Stan. A freshman, number 8, Ashley Clark. A junior, number 9. A junior, number 10, Kaylin Whelan. A junior, number 11, Leah Finn. A sophomore, number 12, Emery Harris. And a sophomore, number 14, Brianna Clarmy. A freshman, number 15, Ryan Conlon. And a freshman, number 18, Olivia Grubb. Assistant coaches for Valley, Sabrina Douglas, Steph Baumhoff, and Kendra Fewer, Jasmine Spahn, Matthew Ross, Shannon Whelan, and the head coach of the West Des Moines Valley Tigers is Jeremy Misa. Now for Indianola, a senior number 1, Richie Larson. A junior number 2, Lauren Olson. A senior number 3, Cameron Overton. A senior number 4, Dana Lake. A senior number 5, Josie Ross. A senior number 6, Abby Corbett. A senior number 7, Sully Downey. A senior number 8, Aspen Nelson. A sophomore number 10, Madison Grover. A senior number 11, Zoe Bell. And a senior number 12, Mackenzie Sloan. A senior number 14, Lauren Danielson. Assistant coaches for Indianola, Tom Lauder, Robert Hine, Colby Kravetsky, Chelsea Clark, Michelle Graham, Carmen Christensen, and the head coach of Indianola Indians is Kent Halstead. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats as we honor our flag and our country. And tonight, singing our national anthem will be Angie Span.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back to Indianola Volleyball on the Indianola Activities YouTube stream. She's Kylie McVeigh. I'm Andrew Swadner. We're bringing play-by-play and color commentary action to you this evening. Indianola taking on Valley. It is number 5 Indianola, number 13 Valley. Winner goes on to Extreme Arena in Coralville. Other matchups, number 1 Pleasant Valley, number 15 Linmar in Region 2. In Region 1, number 2 Ankeny Centennial versus Ottumwa. Ankeny versus Iowa City High in Region 3, Dowling, Iowa City West in Region 4, Waukee Northwest, Sioux City East in Region 6, Cedar Falls and Iowa City Liberty in Region 7, and Bettendorf and Waukee in Region 8. Indianola, the home team on our left in their whites, Valley, the away team in their orange. Any final thoughts before we get this thing rolling?
I'm just excited. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Indianola will get, I believe, the serve to start. And it will be Aspen Nelson out there for the Indians. Serving has been a big point of emphasis for Coach Halstead. He said we needed to get better at it after the first couple of years, and that has been something they've really dominated in. And Aspen Nelson sends it over. Valley gets the return, tries to get it in, and it goes right into the net after a quick touch. And Indianola's up 1-0. Good serve receive there on the first point.
Yep.
So Nelson puts it forward, and Indianola lead 1-0. Another one set up by Valley. Gets it to the center, now on the left side. Tries to go down, and a good kill coming in for Valley. Thea Raridan, who has 197 on the season, ties this match up at 1. And it's 1-1 Indianola Valley. Valley runs through Kaylin Wieland, their setter, 467 assists on the season. Now it's dug out by Olsen. Set up Nelson, up top to Grover, who slams it down, and it's 2-1 Indianola. Coach Halstead said, Kylie, that they run through their middles. How important is that to control that from the volleyball perspective?
Very. It first starts on serve receive. Can you get a good pass for a good set so they can set the middle?
It's like Max Sloan will come over and serve next, and Indianola leads 2-1. Valley gets it, tries a tap over, and the block is there, but point Valley. Not entirely sure. I'm not a volleyball guy, so I'll do my best, but point Valley, and it's 2-2. So Valley gets the point. Raridan on the serve. Picked up
Good
by...
pass.
Now back out outside. Cam Overton sends it right into the deck. And Indianola has been good on the serve receive on their end of things,
Yes.
leading 3-2. That was Macy Lurseth setting it up to Aspen Nelson. Now Sully Downey out to serve for Indianola. That one is long. So all knotted up at 3. We're in set number 1, regional final match. Indianola and Valley. Indianola ranked number 5, Valley number 13. And just as I said I was going to do my best to keep stats, I've totally lost all control on that one. So 3-3 Valley, Indianola picked up. Downey gets it outside. Overton again tries a cross. It's knocked up by Valley into the rafters, but they're going to recover. Now getting it out to the left side, tapped over. Lurseth. Nelson goes over the net, and does that land on the line? No, out. And Valley gets the point.
It looks like she almost touched that ball too.
So Indianola, Nelson just misses the set, and Valley takes their first lead at 4-3. Getting over the top, Lurseth. Nelson, right side, Overton puts it down, and I believe a double touch on Valley, and Indianola gets the point, and we're knotted back up at 4.
Yes.
What's Indianola doing defensively right now? Valley gets one serve, and it's done. Are they just getting the clean setup to Nelson in the middle?
I think they're going to try.
So 4-4, Overton now serving. This has been a big strength for Indianola this whole season. It's over the net on the return, and that'll be a point to Indianola. I think Valley tipped it over the net.
Yep, so the setter's back row, and she touched the ball, and it went over the net, so it counted as a back row attack.
Okay. This is what definitely you're bringing the knowledge that I do not have. Valley sets it up, gets it to their setter up front. Tries the left side, tap over. Right there is Indianola. Getting into the middle, McGraw. Now back out Nelson. Valley sets up the volley over the top. The Indianola block lets it go through, however. And Valley gets the point and ties it back up at 5. Something Coach Halstead likes to do, substitutes.
Oh,
Probably more than any other team.
Oh, yeah.
What's his rationale behind that?
I'm not entirely sure. That's how we did it last when I was in high school as well.
Lurseth gets it, tries the tap over. Now, nice recovery there from Indianola. That's McGraw. Now it's set back up towards Valley. Tied at 5. And the kill attempt goes into the net. Indianola's back out in front. Both teams being strong on the defensive side on serves so far. Indianola out in front 6-5, and Lurseth gets the serve. Sends it over, picked up by Valley again. Setting it up left side, and out. And Lurseth will set up to serve again. Indianola leads 7-5. So Indianola now running with multiple setters out there. Or at least they have that opportunity to do so as Lurseth sends it over. Wieland tries the kill. Up left side is going to be out by Brooklyn Brown. And it sends it out again, and Indianola leads 8-5. Something this Indianola team has done, Kylie, is it's close, usually till about 10-10, 11-11, or within a couple points. And then Indianola just gets into the groove of the game and sends it away.
Good.
So something to watch out for is they
Yes.
like to do the run of about 4 or 5 points near the end. That serve goes out, and it's 8-6. Indianola leads, and Valley now back on the service. Serve goes over, picked up by Indianola. Set out, Nelson, blocked at the net, but it's back towards Indianola. Tries to get it over the top. McGraw now back left side for Valley. Tipped up at the line, point Indianola.
Another back row attack. They consider it illegal when the setter's back row, and if she jumps in front of the 10-foot line and it goes over.
There we go.
Consider it illegal.
So the point for Indianola, leading 9-6. And the return goes right over the net. Indianola escapes one here. Overton's just going to have to tap it over. Now they try a set over. Lurseth right there for it. Set up outside Nelson. Blocked at the net. Indianola recovers. Grover back over. McGraw blocked at the net again, but it goes out. And Indianola wins the point, leading 10-6. Nice job at the net for both teams there. But Indianola gets the good recovery. Lurseth right there on the tap over saves the point for Indianola.
Oh, yeah.
Serve over for the Indians. Set up left side for Valley. Blocked at the net. Lurseth there again. Back row, Overton tried to tap it over and just misjudged it, and it's 10-7 Indianola. A miscue for the Indians. Neither coach has used a timeout so far. Valley substituting on multiple players. Jackie Spann now serving for Valley. Serve over to Overton. Up through the middle, Grover tries to get it down, but it's well defended by Valley. Now they get a kill attempt blocked at the net, but it goes out. And Valley on a multiple point run here. It's 10-8. Indianola still leads, but Valley with some momentum. First set score, Indianola leading 10-8. And a serve again, and into the net. And there's nothing that stops momentum more than a service error into the net.
Got to use it and capitalize on it for sure.
So it'll be Nelson serving back for Indianola. Lurseth and Olsen along with her on the back line. Overton, Grover, and Sloan up front for Indianola. Valley gets it back, and their kill attempt is going to go hit the back wall. And Indianola gets a point. And Indianola starts off, and we're going to get our first timeout. Your initial thoughts of the match so far with Indianola leading 12-8?
Very scrappy. They're both being very competitive at the net. I think both teams' serve receive is very well. I think serving could be a little better, a little more aggressive. But other than that, great volleyball game so far.
I know in Class 5A, and you know it just as well as anybody, you're going to get the height just because teams have a lot more height to choose from.
Yep.
The blocking at the net is going to be tough to overcome once you start to see, especially postseason time, the rotation gets shorter. Teams are going to start to see who's all there and who's at the net. And how tough is that going to be for Indianola to try and adjust? I know they play that tough 5A schedule, so it's not going to be this jarring thing, but postseason's just a little different.
Yep. In postseason, you focus on everything. Every little detail there is about volleyball is when you really pull it apart and focus on it for preseason and get better at it for the next season.
Aspen Nelson serving for Indianola. Serve goes over, picked up by Valley. Set way in the back, out to the left side. Nice job by Lurseth, goes down and gets it. Nelson on the set, up to Overton, just too long. And Valley gets the point, and it's 12-9. Good setup there, but Overton just a little bit too hard.
I looked in from up here.
We have the Indianola goggles on, so serve to Lurseth. Nelson, right side. Sloan over the net, well blocked. Valley gets it back, now back to Lurseth. Nelson, Overton slams it down. A nice job by Valley, goes up into the rafters. They're going to recover, hitting it from the backside and over. Olsen, Nelson, back to Overton. Nice job by Valley. They're going to set it up, tries to get it over nearly their own bench. Olsen sets it up again, and up the middle and slams it down. Maddie Grover. 13-9 Indianola. Max Sloan now serving for Indianola. 13-9. Just gets to the top of the net, but goes over. Valley sets up the serve right side. They try to tap over. Grover's there. Nelson, Overton, blocks. But it goes on Valley's side, and Indianola gets the point, and it's 14-9. This is where Indianola traditionally goes on their run this year. It's close until it's not.
Yeah.
Sloan on the serve. Indianola leading 14-9. Gets it over. And their return will go right over the net. Blake. Back over. Served. Point. Indianola over again. Just got some playing time last year as a freshman at State. Their whole run really didn't get much. Just that team was very talented. Indianola had some middles. But then against North Scott, she came in the championship game when Indianola really needed it and made a big impact. Valley on the receive, blocked at the net by Indianola. And this patented run, it keeps going, and Indianola's on a big run. They lead 16-9. You can tell th're fired up right now.
Oh, yeah. And having the big crowd helps a lot as well.
Well, we're trying to turn down the crowd mic just so you can hear us over it. As this place is packed. Set up by Valley. They tried. Blocked by Indianola at the net again. Tapped over. Overton there. Valley. Nobody can get to it. Miscommunication by the Tigers, and Indianola keeps the run going. It's 17-9. Grover, Blake, and Overton on the front. Nelson, the setter behind, along with Sloan and Olsen. Over the top. Overton taps it over. Valley tries to tap it. Blake's there, but no. Indianola can't keep the run going, and Valley does a nice job at tapping it at the net. How much do you work on that as far as the volleyball? I don't know if there's a drill set up for that, but there's those tap overs that some teams are just very good at.
Yep, honestly, at Simpson, we personally don't really work on it. It's just if you have a not great set, then you do whatever you have to do to get the ball over.
Overton left side slams it down, and Indianola recovers from the awkward point, and they lead 18-10. Sully Downey now serving for Indianola. Lurseth Nelson in the back line. Gets it over. Valley sets it up. Their setter, left side. Tries a tap over. Downey right there. Nelson. Kill goes. And Indianola points from the left side. Close one on that one. I wasn't quite sure. But Indianola gets the point. They lead 19-10. Downey again with the serve. Olsen, Blake, and Overton on the front. Valley gets it back, sets it up left side, blocked at the net. Valley tries to recover, it goes over, and Blake sends it down. And Indianola's doubled up the Tigers. They lead 20-10, and that's going to lead to a timeout. And the run is here. Indianola 5 points away from claiming the first set. What's working for Indianola right now?
I think talking. Like, they're very communicative, and just their swings and defense are helping a lot.
I know the back line, they have a lot of versatile players, even with all the substitutes.
Yep.
A lot of players go on the back line and then up to the front line. How big is that for Coach Halstead to be able to rely on that, knowing you can kind of plug and play anybody anywhere? For a versatile team, or you know, some teams are pretty static, I would say. But
okay.
Indianola, does it feel a little bit more fluid, or how do you view this team?
It looks fluid. It really does. They all look very familiar with each other and how each other plays. It looks like they have a lot of trust in each other as well.
All right, back up to serve for Indianola. Sully Downey, same formation for Indianola. Downey sends it over. Valley gets it up. They try that left side again. Nice dig down. Sends it back over is Downey. Valley, another attempt. Tries a tap over. Nelson's there. Lurseth to Overton, right side. And that one's going into the rafters and down. And it's 21-10. Great dig there from Downey to save the point.
She has a great arm swing.
Overton leads this team in kills. In fact, got her 1,000th kill earlier this season. 340 on the season for Cam Overton. Serve over for Indianola near the net. Valley taps it back. They try a kill out. Indianola gets it back. Nelson has to go all the way. Overton back hits it over. Valley sets up their offense. Tries the right side. Blocked at the net and back. And it's 22-10. And the Indians are dominating in the first. Downey, another service. Shorter one this time. Valley gets it over. Tries the left side. Blocked at the net. Valley gets it back. Blake tries to send it over. Point. Indianola, miscommunication. I don't think Valley thought it was going back over. But now it's 23-10, and Indianola 2 points away from claiming the first. It's Class 5A regional final. Olsen, Blake, and Overton up front again for Indianola. Downey, Lurseth, and Nelson on the back line. Low serve is going to be returned by Valley into the Valley student section. And it will be point to Indianola, and set point is here. Indianola defeated Valley 2-0 at the Johnston Invite just 10 days ago. Trying to repeat that today. Long serve picked up by Valley. They send it into the middle for Wheeland. Valley gets it over. Indianola's block goes awry, and it's 24-11, and that ends a long Indianola run. When you're in a situation like Valley's in right now, what are you looking for? Is it trying to survive, get something positive for the next set because this one's going to be tough?
Yep, and at this point, 24-11, you kind of know the game's practically already over, so you just have to really come into the next set with high energy.
Overton on the back line gets the serve up the middle. They try to send it up to Blake, and Valley must have hit it awkwardly, and it'll be points Indianola, and they lead 25-11 and take the first set of 3. And what a dominant performance. We talked about it. It was, I think, 8-6 Indianola. Valley scored, and all of a sudden, blink and you'll miss it, Kylie. 25-11, our first set, pretty dominant.
Oh, yeah.
That whole stretch of things, it wasn't just one thing. When you're on a run like that, how big is that to just keep that going?
I would say going on a run, you get a lot of adrenaline, and so you want to keep it going and get as many points as possible. But with that being said, you can't have too much adrenaline. You got to know when to kind of tone it down a little bit so you don't make silly errors and you just keep getting the point after the point.
Coach Halstead talks a lot about player-led team, and I noticed he let the players come together and discuss before he goes in there and starts making adjustments. What's he like in between sets like this, especially in big moments?
I think what he's saying now is to prepare where they're going to hit the ball next, what they're going to do out of a serve receive, where they're going to, if they're going to tip to zone 4 down the line. So I think he's just saying to really focus on reading the hitter on where they're going to go so they can be prepared and know how to better the ball.
All right, so from the Valley side, I'm assuming it's let's wipe that one clean and start fresh in set 2?
Yeah, I would think they might be a little jitterish coming back from 25-11. And you kind of, with that, you kind of have to just forget about it and come into the next set like it's 0-0 and it's the very first game of the night.
And the Indianola student section, on their performance so far, what are we thinking?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty great, aren't they? They get loud for volleyball. It's really fun to see. Sometimes they'll have the band up there as well. I don't think they're allowed to do that for regionals. But,
Yep.
So Indianola already out there and ready to play, and we're still a minute resting, and to me that just shows a lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
So starting the second for Indianola will be Grover, Sloan, and McGraw, along with Nelson, Overton, and Lurseth. Valley still talking things over as we're heading into set 2. Indianola wins the first set 25-11. And the winner of this match will head to the Extreme Arena in Coralville. Indianola 2 straight trips there, fell to Western Dubuque in 5 sets in 2022. Last year had to win in 5 sets against Marion. Indianola's the 2 seed going in, fell behind 2-1 and then won set 4 and 5 to advance. Nice. And then Lewis Central, they were up 2-1, dropped the 4th and came back and won the 5th. And then unfortunately North Scott was playing at just a different level in the Class 4A championship game, with the Lancers winning that 3-0. But Indianola, I talked to them all season long, Kylie, and you know this program, they're not intimidated by moving up to Class 5A. They know it's going to be tougher, but that's the furthest thing from their mind.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of good girls on the team, and so having the talent and with the confidence goes a long way.
All right, so Valley will start off set number 2. Indianola wins 25-11. And we are ready to go here on the Indianola Activities YouTube stream. Kylie McVeigh and Andrew Swadner bringing you play-by-play action. Lurseth gets the serve to McGraw. Overton from the back middle and just a little bit too hard. Point Valley, and it's 1-0, but I like the spot from Overton when you don't have that kill attempt right up at the net.
Yep.
That's a good spot to try and put it. So Valley gets the 1-0 lead. Lurseth gets another one. Tough serves coming out. Indianola just has to scramble to try and get it over. Nelson with a good hit, but Valley survives. From the left side, hit is in. Valley's off to a 2-0 lead, and they've recovered from the 25-11 set one victory for Indianola and get off to a fast start here. Good serves coming out for the Tigers. Another one, Lurseth. And the set just goes a little too high. The timing is off. McGraw to Grover. And it's 3-0 Valley. Indianola has not fallen in too many holes so far this entire season, so we'll see how they recover. Overton has to dive for it. Now McGraw gets it over Nelson, who just has to recover near the sideline. Set up in the middle, blocked by Indianola. A couple hits. Sloan back over. Nelson gets it over, and Valley can't quite get the block down, and the Indianola student section can finally stand up, and it's 3-1 Valley with the lead, but Indianola with the recovery. So McGraw comes off. Olsen comes on. Nelson with the serve. Sends it over. Valley towards the middle. Left side, tap over. Overton right there. Nelson, backline. Olsen taps it over. Miscommunication from Valley, and it's 2 in a row for Indianola. Olsen with the backline kill.
That's a good spot. They expect her to hit it really hard out of the back row, and then she just rolls it into the donut where they're least expecting it.
And that's just a little bit of a communication issue, right, for Valley, or is that something you think Coach Halstead identified?
Yep, I think both.
Nelson with another serve, and Indianola trailing 2-3, and this one just out and to the right, and Valley back up 4-2, but kind of stops the momentum, and Indianola's back into this one after a slower start.
Yeah, they just need to take a breath and just tell themselves they got the next one.
Sloan, Nelson, and Grover up front. Overton, Lurseth, and Olsen on the back, and the Valley serve goes out, and the teams trade service errors, and Indianola trails 3-4. As we see Blake come on, Lurseth come off. Sloan sends the serve over, and a miss hit from Valley, and it's 4-4. And Valley can't ride their strong 3-0 start, and Indianola wipes it away in an instant. Sloan, 4-4, sends it over. Valley setter to the left side, tipped at the net. Sloan gets it back. Nelson, left side, Overton. Nice job by Valley. They send it over, however. Blake to Nelson, back to Blake in the middle, and she finds the middle herself. And Indianola on a 5-2 run leads, and Max Sloan will try to keep this momentum going. That has to be a chemistry thing there, right? Blake, as soon as she sent it to Nelson, she was already ready to get that one back.
Yeah.
Sloan, another serve over. Picked up by Valley. Wheeland, now a tap over. Overton there. Indianola taps it up a couple times. Olsen sends it back. Valley recovers. Left side, tries to tap over, but Indianola's all over it. Nelson, right side. Sloan finds the back. That's Grover, excuse me, and Grover with the kill, and Indianola's up 6-4. From the left, from the right, from the middle, Indianola's attacking everywhere right now. From Valley's perspective, how difficult is that to try and set up your block?
Very. You don't know where the ball's going to go because the setter is moving the ball all around the court.
Valley's return right to Blake, and she slams it down. 7-4, Indianola. And they're feeling it right now. A 7-1 run after a 3-0 start. Indianola leads 7-4. Sloan. Valley gets it back, set up for the middle, tries to tap over. Indianola's all over it. Olsen right there. Grover blocked at the net. Valley can't hit it a couple of times, and it's 8-4 Indianola. This Max Sloan service has gotten Indianola from trailing 4-2 to up 8-4. Another one for Valley. They try to tap it over. Miscommunication. Blake up the middle. Nelson, Overton, blocked at the net. Valley sends it back over. Nelson gets it back. She tries to set it over. Back to Nelson. Olsen, Overton, deep left side, blocked at the net. Nice defense by Valley. And that stops the momentum, and the Tigers try to get back into it. So Brown comes back on for the Tigers, 122 kills for Valley on the season as they try to climb out of this three-point hole, trailing 8-5. Serve over. Lurseth doesn't get a clean hit, but it's still picked up by Nelson. Grover sends it into the net, Point Valley, and they've scored a couple in a row, and Indianola just not on the same page on that one.
Not at all.
So 8-6, Valley with a couple points in a row. Sends it over short, just off the net. Nelson, tap, Lurseth. Blake, too far out, and Valley gets another point. The first set, it was whoever was serving gave up all the momentum.
Yep.
Now in the second, whoever's serving seems to have it. What's the difference, you think?
Yep. I think they just came into the set knowing that they just won 25-11, and so I think they kind of expected it.
Another block at the net, or Overton misses it low, and it's 8-8 Indianola Valley. Much cleaner that time from Indianola, just a miss hit by Overton. And the Tigers draw it back even. Another short serve. Lurseth, Nelson, Overton taps it over this time, reads the defense perfectly. They've been getting that block, and that time, how important is that when the setter sets that up? Because a lot of that is the setter for you to be able to tap it, right?
Yep, and just realizing where the defense is set up on the opposing side to know if you can tip it right over the block, if they're going to get that up or not.
So on for Indianola, Zoe Belt on for the serve. Valley will get it near the net, tries to set it up. The Indianola block sends it back towards the Tigers. Now they set it up left side. Cross, Belt, Nelson, Olsen taps over. Valley tries the defense. They hit it a couple of times, but it goes backwards. And Indianola's back up front, 10-8. This was Belt's role last year. It's expanded a little bit more this year as the other team has some momentum. We want to bring on someone who can stop that from the service line.
Yep.
And now Valley sends it too deep. And Indianola, it was tied at 8. Now it's back up 11-8. And Indianola's back in full control. Indianola won the first set 25-11. They lead 11-8 in the second. Belt, serve. Valley, back right side, tries deep, too long, and it's 12-8. This swings of momentum. I know volleyball's a momentum game.
Yep.
The first set, again, it just felt like whoever was serving, it was going to struggle until Indianola took over at the end, but whoever has the ball seems to get it. Now Belt with another good serve, and it's an ace. 13-8. When in the timeout Valley, and I want to talk about the serves here. A couple of times Belt went soft over towards the middle. She goes towards the line drive. Is that, from Coach Halstead's perspective, how much agency does he give the set or the service?
Yep. So if you notice, on both teams, one of the coaches is giving the server zones to serve, and so they'll either say like a 1 for short or a 1 for deep or a 2 for short, and that's just really reading the serve receive, the defense on the opposing team, to know if you should do a long deep serve or short serve right over the net.
Well, it's working out for Indianola as Belt gets Indianola back out in front 13-8. Trying to get some score updates from around the area. Little Hawkeye conference. Pella taking down Norwalk in the first set, 25-21. Class 4A, our neighbors to the north. Pella Norwalk, big rivals. Pella won 3-0 over the Warriors in Little Hawkeye Conference play earlier. The Warriors matched Pella all the way to the end, but fell just short. So Belt still serving for Indianola. Lurseth and Nelson on the back line. Serve over. Valley sets it up through the middle. Blocked at the net. And the Indianola block has been dominant on this run. And they're up 14-8.
Having a single block like that just makes the momentum go up even higher for the team.
Olsen, Blake, and Overton on the front line for Indianola right now. Belt with another serve. This one going deep, and it's too far. But a good service run there. This match was tied at 8. Indianola goes up, gets the serve, and it's 14-9. Connolly serving for Valley. Sends it over. Overton on the back line now. Sets it up. Nelson. Olsen. Blocked back in. Nelson just gets a piece of it, and the Indianola defense sends it up, and now miscommunication by Valley, and Indianola wins the jump point on that one, but they'll take it 15-9. Good defense again coming in. Josie McGraw onto the court for Indianola, and Cam Overton serving. Lurseth and Belt along with her on the back. McGraw, Blake, and Nelson up front. Overton. Low serve, sends it just over. Valley gets it. They're not going to get a good setup. Now Lurseth dives down for it. McGraw tries to send it right over, but Valley's waiting for it. Set up into the middle to the back line. Overton, nice job, gets it up. McGraw will just have to set it over the net. Now Valley sets up right side towards the back corner, and they find it. And Indianola, it was out.
Wow.
Gets the point. I thought that one was in, so
I did too.
we must have the bad perspective on this
Yeah.
one. So Indianola's up 16-9. Overton again. Valley sets it up from the right side. Overton. McGraw. Blake, does she find the corner? No, just too strong, and it's 16-10. Indianola runs on their middles, and they've seen a lot of success so far. Valley's been stacking the outside, it seems like, and Indianola's really been taking advantage of that middle of this court.
Oh, yeah.
Serve just over. Overton. McGraw tries to get it over. Beautiful job by Nelson to send it over. Valley sets up their outside into the net. Indianola with the points. 17-10. Sloan comes on for Blake. Second set here at Indianola High School. Lurseth with the serve. Overton and Belt on the back. Nelson, Sloan, McGraw up front. Valley just gets it over. They're going to have to tap it, and Indianola just sends it right back, and Valley can't answer, and it's 18-10. Doesn't seem to matter who's on the front line for Indianola right now.
Oh,
Everybody's
no.
feeling it.
Yeah.
Lurseth leading 18-10, and that one's too far. Point Valley 18-11 in the, I don't remember what set it was against Southeast Polk. I think it was the first. Indianola scored the last 15 points, or 15 of 16 points. The only point Southeast Polk got was an Indianola serve into the net.
Oh, wow.
So that's how kind of late game runs this team likes to go on. 18-11, Indianola leading. Second set, Overton. McGraw. Nelson sends it down, blocked by Valley. They recover in the back. They have to send it up. Now right side, spiked over. Overton, nice job. McGraw taps it over. Valley right there, but Overton's right there at the net again. Tried to block McGraw there. Nelson sends it over. Good volley here, back and forth. Valley into the net, and Indianola gets the block at the point, and they lead 19-11. Good defense from both sides.
Very good.
Belt comes off. Grover comes on for Indianola. McGraw to serve for Indianola. Overton and Lurseth on the back. Grover, Sloan, and Nelson up front. Trying from the outside again. Tapped up Nelson right there. McGraw back out right side. Sloan taps it over. Nobody home for the Tigers. And Indianola's out in front 22-11.
They're doing a very good job about reading Valley's defense to see where they should be placing the ball to get the point.
How much of that is instinct and how much of that is drilled into them from Coach Halstead?
I would say it's 50-50.
Now their serve goes over, picked up, Valley into the net, Indianola another point, leading 21-11. Valley got off to a 3-0 start. It's a 21-8 run for Indianola since then. McGraw. Deep serve picked up by the Tigers. Sends it over, blocked at the net, but Valley recovers. Gets it up, they try to set it over. McGraw right there, well done by Kaylin Wieland. The Valley setter catches Indianola in a rare off-balance moment.
Yeah.
Now she'll be back and serving now for the Tigers, or from the back line. Sends it over, Nelson right there. McGraw, Nelson. Sends it down, 22-12. Indianola's out in front by 10. McGraw comes off, Olsen on. Nelson to serve, along with Olsen and Lurseth on the back line. Valley gets it back, tries from the right side, and a nice kill. Indianola's block doesn't get a piece of that one, and the Tigers, probably their best offense of the night so far.
Yep. I would have to agree with you on that one.
So Valley sets it back up. Grover, Nelson, and Sloan up front for Indianola. Sending it over, Olsen, Nelson, Overton. Blocked but down. Valley can't send it back. And Indianola leads 23-13. Sloan to serve. This is where Indianola went on their run earlier. Dana Blake in for Lurseth. Sloan sends it over Valley. Tries the middle again. Olsen, Nelson, right side, Grover, and miscommunication from Indianola on that time. I don't think Grover was ready for it, and it's point Valley. Multiple subs coming on for the Tigers as they try to make a run and save this set too. You know you're running out of opportunities as well, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is regional play. And Indianola leads 23-14. Low serve, Nelson back over Blake through the middle, and she sends it down, and Indianola is a point away from claiming the second. Belt comes on for Grover to try and send this one to match point in the third set. We're in set 2, 24-14. Belt, Tigers return it back over the net. Nelson, right side, Overton, puts it down, almost into the basketball hoop, and Indianola takes down the second 25-14. And they lead 2 sets to nothing. They recovered from a slow start.
Yes, they did. It was a great game.
Indianola leads 2 sets to nothing over Valley. Winner goes to state. I'll try and do my best to get some scores in from around the area, but not everybody is super active on Twitter during these volleyball matches.
Yes.
And both, I will say, both sets so far. Set 1 was dominated by, it felt like whichever team got the cleanest return on a serve.
Yep, I would agree.
Set 2, it felt like more dominant serving. Any guesses on set 3 so far as both teams try to adjust and counter adjust?
I think they're going to take into account on how the first 2 sets did go and try and maneuver each skill they have for this third set.
And I also think Indianola can't play to not lose at this point. I think you have to stay aggressive, right?
Yes.
I know
yes.
you're up 2 sets to nothing, but if you start changing the way you play, Valley, I mean, their record aside, they play maybe the toughest schedule in the entire state.
Yeah.
Indianola plays some smaller schools, a little Hawkeye Conference play. Valley plays the same tournaments Indianola does, and then gets Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial in their regular season. So they're constantly tested.
Yeah, and that's always great too, to know your limits and know what to change and when.
All right, so Indianola coming back out for the third and potentially final. Valley trying to send this one to a 4th set. And again, trying to find some scores from around the area. Number 2, Ankeny Centennial took down Ottumwa in the first set, 25-18. They're currently tied 12-12 as of 4 minutes ago in the second set. So if all things shake out, and Indianola currently ranked 5th in Class 5A, they would play Dowling in the first round.
Okay.
Any upsets in the top 4, that starts to change. But Indianola would need a team 1 through 4 to change their to fall in the regional final to change that opponent. Also paying attention to Pleasant Valley, Linmar, Ankeny, and Iowa City High, and of course Dowling, Iowa City West. Indianola wins the first set 25-11. Set 2, 25-14. The Tigers trying to keep their season alive. Indianola trying to book their 3rd straight trip to the Extreme Arena in Coralville. It'll be Nelson, Olsen, and Lurseth on the back line. Overton, Grover, and Sloan up front. And Indianola will serve. All right, here we go in our 3rd set. Nelson sends it over deep, and it will go too long. Point Valley, who got off to a 3-0 start in the second set before Indianola took over. And the Tigers make a quick change. Thea Raridan comes on. So Valley on the serve. And into the net. And we're right where we were.
Yep.
Why don't we just play this one up to 24 instead?
Yeah.
Okay. Max Sloan now serving for Indianola. And that one into the net. So a slower start here in the 3rd. Lurseth comes back on, Sloan off as Indianola tries to set up their defense. And the serve for Valley. Olsen, Nelson, right side, Grover tries to tap over, Valley right there, and Valley wins the point. Grover couldn't quite handle the block back, and it's 3-1 Tigers. So Valley led 3-0 at the start of the second set. This one to Olsen. Nelson. Overton sends it down, and point Indianola.
Valley was in the net.
Got it.
They called Valley in the net on that one.
So Indianola gets the point on the Overton hit, and it'll be back up to Sully Downey to serve for Indianola. Lurseth and Nelson on the back with her. Olsen, Blake and Overton up front. Tip over. Blake sends it back over with Overton's help. Now, Valley tries to set it up. Nelson. Lurseth, right side. Overton, blocked at the net. Lurseth's right there. Nelson sets it up. Olsen from the outside. Tipped at the net. Off of Valley. They get it back. Now off to the left side. Sends it down. Point Tigers. Well played on both sides, but the tip goes out, and Valley leads 4-2 in the 3rd. I think both teams knew Valley wasn't going to go away quietly.
Oh, yeah. That's where you really have to dig deep for this one.
So Valley gets it over. Low serve is going to go down and picked up by Downey, and it will be point for the Tigers. So a low serve, not played well by the Indians, and we're going to get a timeout called by Coach Halstead. Valley leading 5-2 here in the 3rd. Coach Halstead also not afraid to call these timeouts when he feels the team needs one.
Yep, he will call the timeout as soon as the up ref starts to blow the whistle. He waits to the very last second to call a timeout.
What's he saying right now? I know you don't know the adjustments he's making, but in a set like this, when you're down and you're up 2-0, what do you think he's communicating?
I would say just to clean it up a little bit. Since they are up 2-0, I think they might have possibly got it in their head a little bit that they're just going to sweep this one and really win again 25-14, 25-11. But they can't necessarily always come on the court with that high of expectation to win it just like that, because Valley is a competitive team. They're going to come back with all they got.
Ranked number 13 in Class 5A, West Des Moines Valley. Number 5, Indianola, up 2-0. Serve over. Downey, Nelson, Overton. Indianola resets coming out of the timeout, excuse me. Sorry, on the radio, they're McCoy True Value timeouts. So that's a really hard habit to break. So Overton set up to serve now for Indianola, now trailing 5-3. Overton sends it over. Played by Valley, and off to the left side again. They tap it over, and Downey lets it go. Point Indianola, and as it always seems like Indianola does, out of the timeout, they just play so much better.
It's always good to go in a timeout and just take a breather, take a breath, and be ready for the next point.
Overton sends it over. Valley tries to set it up this left side again. The Indianola block right there. They send it back into the net, and Valley can't recover. 5-all, Indianola on a 3-point run. And we're back tied and even here in the third. Overton sends it over. Set up Valley. They go outside right this time. Lurseth with a great job saving it. Can Indianola save the point? No. And it goes out. And the Tigers recover and reclaim the lead 6-5. Quick score update. Looks like Pella defeats Norwalk in the second set 25-20. So the Dutch are a set away from going to state. Low serve. Lurseth goes down for it. McGraw. Blake taps it over. Valley doesn't get a clean hit. And that'll be point Indianola. Into the breadbasket on that one. Blake put a little spin on it. And
that was good placement by her as well. There were two hitters on Valley side stacked up, ready for that ball, and then they just didn't really communicate on it.
Lurseth with the serve. Overton and Downey in the back line, and the serve goes into the net. And Indianola giving up too many points on the serve, I think, for Coach Halstead's liking.
Agreed.
This is one of those awkward rotations, I think, for Indianola, where both McGraw and Nelson are out there. Both can serve as that setter. And Nelson has to transition to an outside hitter a little bit. And the serve for Valley goes over, and Indianola, another not clean return, and it's 8-6 Tigers. Serve over again. Off the top of the net, Sloan right there. McGraw, back out Sloan, sends it into the back. Valley not ready for it, and just not clean again. And Indianola, they are winning a lot of these not setup points, I think. Is there a volleyball term for that? Kind of the scrum type points, or?
They're just kind of junk. Just stuff that's kind of just thrown over the net, not ready. Communication could be a whole lot better on both teams as well.
McGraw sends it over. Set up Valley, they try the middle, the tap over. Indianola's waiting for it. And point Tigers.
On that one, they called Indianola in the net.
Okay.
On the block, she must have touched the net with some part of her body to give it to the Valley.
That was always my problem, was touching the net too much. I could never, I could jump really high, but then I'd come right down into the net every time. Nelson gets the serve, back over, Sloan. Tries to send it down, blocked by Valley. They get a good setup here on the right side, outside. Into the back line, Overton's right there. McGraw, Nelson taps it over. Valley has to dig down deep, and they get it back over. McGraw up the middle. Grover tries to slam it down, but well recovered by both teams again. Sloan tries the outside, and it's too far, and Valley wins a back and forth point, and they lead 10-7 here in the third. And the service goes out, and Indianola catches another point there. I think both coaches, if they look back on this one, especially here in this third set, and say, we let a couple points get away from us.
Oh, yeah, there's been a ton of missed serves in this set.
Trailing 10-8. Nelson sends it over. Valley, Wheeland. Left side, tapped over. Olsen goes all the way across court, picked up by Sloan, and over by Nelson. Great defense from the Indians. Valleys gets a good, clean look at it. And Indianola in the net again.
Correct.
Point Valley.
I don't think they called Indianola in the net on the first 2 sets at all.
And already a couple of times here.
Yeah.
So Indianola receives it. Overton way across, taps it over, and resets momentum for the Indians. They trail 11-9. Blake comes on, Lurseth off. So the front line, Grover, Blake, and Overton. Nelson, Olsen, and Sloan on the back. Good serve over by Sloan. Put over, Overton to Nelson. Back to Overton. Blocked at the net. Valley tries to recover. They get a good job. Now swing it back over. Tries the short side. Right there is Nelson. Sloan to Olsen. And Indianola resets. Valley from the right side. They try a tap over, but Overton's right there, but nobody home for Indianola. And the miscommunication issues have plagued the Indians this entire third set.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Valley leads 12-9 here in the third set. Indianola leads 2-0. But Valley leading 12-9. Long set, Olsen. Nelson, far side, Overton tries the tap over again and just doesn't quite make it over the net. And the Tigers have all the momentum here, leading 13-9 as they try to keep their season alive. Valley on the serve again. Olsen, clean to Nelson up the middle. Blake, and she sends it down. It's Indianola's go-to when they're in a rut.
I can see why.
And it's been effective all night. Olsen, Blake, and Overton up front. And Downey serving for Indianola. Sends it over. Valley gets it clean and back into the net. And miscommunication from the Tigers. And Indianola gets another cheap point. Indianola trailing 13-11 to Valley. Much better. Well, I say that as it goes out by Valley. It looked like a better return, but depth perception way off from my side, and it goes out. And Indianola gets another point here from Downey. Back within one, 13-12. Downey sends it over. Valley gets the set. Left side, nice job Nelson. Just taps it up in the middle. Olsen will send it over. Picked up by the Tigers. Another deep setup. Nice job into the back line. Going back and saving it is Downey. Now up. Olsen blocked at the net. Indianola keeps it alive. Lurseth back to Olsen. Now here comes the Indians. Tigers up top. Backside, Downey saves it. Nelson, right side, Overton, tap over. Valley's waiting for it. Tigers set their offense back up to the outside. Lurseth right there, and Indianola gets it again. And they trail 14-12, a real back and forth one that time, and Valley gets the better of the Indians.
That was a very good rally, but somehow we got to figure out when to stay out of the net on certain points.
Overton, Nelson, Blake up the middle.
Good spot.
And she finds the weak zone of the Tigers defense. And you can hear her calling for it here as well. So that's that communication aspect.
Yep.
And Indianola trailing 14-13. Overton to serve. Lurseth and Downey on the back line. And a long serve and another point given up by the Indians. Serve and into the net. Have been about, I think, 6-7 points for Valley so far. Another serve for the Tigers. And returned back over the net. Valley sends it back. Overton. Lurseth Nelson from the outside, blocked, but it's out. And Indianola gets the point. They trail 15-14. Lurseth on to serve. Sloan on for Blake for Indianola. Sends it over. Valley from the left side, and point Tigers. Indianola didn't get their block set up well enough, and one thing we haven't really seen from Valley, Kylie, is their clean hits.
Yep.
They work well. When they have to try and get their kills from the line is when they've run into a lot of trouble, and credit Indianola on that, but when Valley gets set up, they've looked much better. Long serve, Overton. Lurseth. Nelson from the outside. Picked up by the Tigers. They get theirs up the middle. They try the tap over. Back over Nelson again. Block, but into no man's land, and Indianola's back within a point, 16-15. Downey comes off. McGraw on to serve for Indianola. Picked up by the Tigers. Set up. They try the right side. Into the back line. Lurseth right there. And miscommunication. Indianola. I think both McGraw and Sloan going for that one. And the Tigers get another point.
I think it might have touched the ceiling a little bit too.
Okay. You wish you could play in an airport hangar sometimes.
Yes, I know.
17-15. Valley leads into the back line. Nelson. McGraw. Back over. Valley tips it over, and miscommunication from the Tigers, and Indianola have been sticking with this one. It hasn't been the cleanest third set for them, but they're still within a point of the Tigers. And Nelson will serve. Olsen and Lurseth on the backside. Sloan, Grover, and Overton on the front. Into the middle. Olsen's there. Nelson. Sloan just has to hit it over. Picked up by the Tigers. Clean set right side, and no, will go into the net. And Indianola ties it up at 17. I think it's a hallmark of a good team when you're playing not at your best for Indianola and you're tied at 17. Nelson sends it over. Valley gets the set, tries the left side again, the tap over, Lurseth right there. Nelson, right side, Sloan, into the net. Good block by the Tigers, and they get the point and reclaim the lead, 18-17. Couple of subs coming on for Valley. Sending it over, Olsen, clean look. Nelson, Overton. Nice defense by Valley. They get a clean return. Tries to set up right side, Lurseth right there. Nelson again, up the middle. Olsen, tap over. Valley right there all over it after the dive. Now they try to set it up. They try to tap it over, but Nelson's right there. Lurseth, back to Overton. Sends it down and kicked back up into the back of the Indians. Get right back at it. Tied up at 18, Overton with the point. Blake on, Lurseth off. Max Sloan to serve for the Indians. Blake, Grover, and Overton up front. Sloan gets the serve over. Picked up by Valley on the outside. Blocked by Indianola, but it goes on their side. Point Tigers, and they lead 19-18. One thing we saw, Indianola pulled away in both the first and second set. Valley's sticking around here in this third. And
Yep. They tie it, and then they're down by one, and then they tie, and then they're down by one.
back and forth we go here as the Tigers get their serve back into the nets. And it feels like when Indianola gets the tie back, a lot of it is on the back of, not to be too critical, but fixable mistakes for Valley.
Yes,
And I feel
agreed.
like that's one of those things that Valley's going to look at and say, it wasn't Indianola in that third set.
Yeah.
Downey on to serve for the Indians. Back left side, set up. Now they try to get the set up. Now it's tipped up, Nelson. Lurseth, back over by Olsen. Valley gets a clean look. Set over, they try to tap it over. Lurseth's all over it. Nelson, she tries to return the favor. Point Valley.
There's a double.
And the Tigers back out in front, 20-19. I think one thing Indianola really doesn't want to do here is get this to a fourth set. Not because, they wouldn't be the favorites to close it out, but just because it gives Valley a lot of belief, I think, going into it. And the Tigers close out this point, 21-19 with a beautiful kill from the left side. And Valley with their best shot of the night, and Coach Halstead's going to call his second timeout. Do have a quick update for those following Simpson. Women's soccer defeats Co 4-0.
Yes, let's go.
So I know we're waiting on another result, but Simpson, no matter what, is the 2 seed. But they could have a share of the American Rivers Conference title if Central defeats Loris.
Okay.
But either way, Loris would win the first seed on tiebreaker regardless. So, well, we're in a timeout. What's coming up for you at Simpson? 2 very big matches coming up this weekend.
Yes, so we play, I believe it's Co.
Yep.
Co on Friday, and then Saturday morning is Wartburg.
And basically must-wins for Simpson, right?
Yep, we need to win both of them.
So if you're in the community and you have a free Friday night or a free Saturday morning, go out and support our Storm.
Yes, definitely come over to Simpson and watch our games.
All right, Simpson in some must-win volleyball games this weekend. Valley trying to get this one going in a must-win set. It goes off the net, and Indianola with a double hit, I think.
Yep.
And the Tigers 3 points away from claiming their first set victory. Indianola won the first 25-11. Then 25-14 in the second, but the Tigers playing much better. Into the back line, Overton gets it clean. Nelson up the middle, Blake. She tries to send it over, this time well defended by Valley. They try to tap it over. Overton right there, but no. It hits the deck, and Valley leads 23-19. What's working for Valley? What are they doing different right now that they weren't doing in the first couple sets?
I think being scrappy. There's a lot of balls they didn't get up in the first 2 sets, and now they're picking them up.
Lurseth, clean. Nelson, Overton, right side. Blocked a couple of times, and Indianola gets it back. And Overton tries to stop this Tigers' momentum. And it's 23-20, Indianola trails. Josie McGraw on. Overton serving for Indianola. Valley gets a clean look. Sets it up, tries the middle. Beautiful job by Overton, but it goes right into the net. And that's a judgment call. I think that one was going out, but easy for us to say.
Yep.
And Valley's on set point. 24-20. Valley trying to force a fourth. Overton. McGraw. Nelson taps it over. Valley will get to that one easy. Sets it up. Left side. Blocked at the net. And Indianola is still in it. 24-21.
Now they need to use this momentum and take it into the next point.
Something they've had a lot of trouble doing in this third set.
Yep.
Zoe Belt on to serve for Indianola. And we're going to get a Valley timeout. Again, the winner will go on to the Extreme Arena in Coralville. I'm doing my best to try and get some score updates. Indianola, Class 4A runners-up, moved up to Class 5A. Waukee, that is number 9 Waukee over Bettendorf right now. They lead 2-0. Valley tries to close it out, and Indianola with a good block. Downey, left side, Nelson, tap over, nobody home, and Indianola 2 points away from tying it up. They trail 24-22. Belt to serve. Downey and Overton in the back, up front. Nelson, Sloan, McGraw. Valley sends it over. And Indianola point, it went over the nets. And you can feel the momentum in this gym. 1 point away from taking it off match point, or set point, excuse me. Belt, trailing 24-23. Deep serve picked up by Valley. They try to set up the right side on the block, but the Tigers get the point and win 25-23 and set up a fourth set. So Indianola can't get the sweep. They're still in control.
Yep.
And I mean, I think Coach Halstead would be the first to say it. Not Indianola's cleanest set, and it was still a 25-23 match or
agreed.
set.
Now they just got to come back even like more energy for this set, because Valley's, with that win, they're going to come with all they got because they have nothing to lose. So,
well, I think if Indianola fans will forgive me, Indianola faced Ankeny Centennial in this gym to begin the season.
okay.
This is an Ankeny Centennial team that's been number 1 or number 2 almost the entire season. Got up 2-0. The Jaguars win the next 3 to win the first match of the season. So I feel like I'm exercising this a little bit. They got that out of the way to begin with, and they're gonna clean it up here. But
yeah.
I mean, we know who to blame, and it's not me. It's Kylie McVeigh if Indianola doesn't pull this one out. Well, again, thank you very much for joining me on the
Yes, of
broadcast,
course.
bringing a ton of actual volleyball knowledge and not just making it up like I do. But your impressions of both teams so far heading into set 4, what is Coach Halstead talking about right now?
I think he's definitely telling them to play more with teamwork, and especially blocking. If they can get a few more touches on blocks or a few more blocks, have harder hands when they're blocking, and I think more aggressive serves for Indianola. And for Valley, I think their coach should be telling them to do what they did in that set. They had great swings on that set and defense. Their defense was really well, and I think that's really what put them ahead of Indianola on this game.
And again, I think for Valley, what I noticed from a very layman's perspective is that third set, they were setting up their outside hitters much closer to the net.
Yes.
And that was a
agreed.
big thing, whereas in the first 2, it felt like they were trying to have to hit them from even further back, and Indianola was just dominating those blocks because they had that extra half second to get that in. So
I would agree, yeah.
So for Valley, I think just trying to set up your athletes for success would be a big thing for me.
Yep.
All right, so Indianola leads 2-1. And they will try to force a 5th set here. Indianola trying to close this one out with a 3-1 victory. Joined by Kylie McVeigh, former Indianola standout volleyball athlete, now playing at Simpson. I'm Andrew Swadner, trying to keep up as much as I can on the volleyball side of things. For those who maybe remember, myself and Mr. Rick Wilson, who's down doing the PA, called Indianola volleyball at state last year. We're going to be doing the same thing. In addition, we'll be on 94.3 KNIA. We'll be courtside at the Extreme Arena in Coralville. And we're hoping to go back. Let's just put it that way. But Valley with a lot of momentum. We'll try to start off this 4th set.
And it worked well for Indianola the first 2 sets. They went out first with a lead. So I think they really focus on that for this set as well, to try and get the first couple points of the game.
Build that cushion, I think, is what they like to do. All right, so here we go for the 4th. Valley sends it over. Overton. McGraw, Nelson, blocked at the net. Lurseth returns, but no. Indianola, I think, got it.
When she hit the ball, she went under the net.
Okay.
And so they call it kind of like an interference.
So Valley gets the first point of the 4th set. And you can just feel the Tigers have a lot of momentum right now. This gym has gotten a lot quieter, and Indianola needs to try to reclaim that. Can they do it here? No. It tries to go up to Grover, but it's out. Beautiful set, just a mishit, miscalculation, and Indianola trails 2-0. Nelson, McGraw, back to Nelson, tries the tap over, and that's been Indianola's biggest strength so far.
Oh, yeah.
It's been reading those taps, and they get their first point here in the fourth. Lauren Olsen on, McGraw off, and Nelson to serve for Indianola. Nelson the serve, and out. Point Valley, they lead 3-1, and almost none in the first couple of sets, and then far too many in the third set, which led to Indianola's loss, was service errors.
Yep.
So Valley on the serve, just over the net, but Lurseth gets it clean. Nelson, Overton, blocked at the net by Valley, and just on the line, point Tigers, and they lead 4-1. Indianola trailed in the second 3-0, and then went on a run when it was 2-4. But now Valley leading 4-1. Lurseth, clean. Nelson up the middle, and that one's slammed down by Sloan. Blake on, Lurseth off. Sloan to serve along with Nelson and Olsen in the back line. Grover, Overton, and Blake up front. Sloan, deep serve, picked up by Valley. They set it up left side, blocked at the nets. And that's the Indianola we like to see.
Yes, that was a great block setup as well.
Trailing 3-4. Sloan on the serve again. This one much lower, picked up by Valley again, up the middle. And just a little too far, point Indianola. I think when we see Indianola not having those mistakes, those service errors, when they can get the back and forth play is where they show that that's how they're gonna try and win their points.
Oh, yeah.
Sloan, another deep serve picked up by Valley. Trying the right side, beautiful hit down. And that one will be sent down by Wheeland. And the Tigers are back out in front, 5-4. So Span on to serve for the Tigers. Valley leading Indianola 5-4 here in this fourth set. Indianola up 2-1. Span deep to Olsen. Nelson up the middle. Blake sends it into the back, but Valley recovers. Now they try to go up the middle. Nelson's there. Lurseth, right side. Grover, backline hit over the net. Overton tries to send it back, but Valley recovers. Now they set it up on the left side. Tap over, Lurseth. Nelson, Overton from the left side. Another tap over. Valley fixes their defense this time, and they get it into the net. Now they tap it over. Overton dives down. Back to Nelson, right side. Grover into the net, and Indianola can't recover. Point Valley. And it's 6-4 Tigers. I think Indianola got everything they wanted on that one, just couldn't quite get it down.
Yep.
(6-4). Valley leads. Olsen, Nelson, Overton winds up, but Valley gets the recovery. Now left side and out. No, just hit the line. And the Tigers lead 7-4. And Valley on the margins right now are just beating Indianola since the second set.
Oh, yeah.
Leading 7-4. Olsen, Nelson, right side. Grover tipped at the net, but it's back up and over. Now they try tap over, but right there, yeah.
And they call a double on that one.
So Valley gets bit by the double bug. Grover off. Belt on. Indianola trailing 7-5. And the Indianola crowd looking for an excuse to get into it as good serve by Belt goes over. Valley sets up, they have to try and tap it over. Belt recovers. Olsen, tap over, Valley gets it back, and they're going to hit it in Indianola's back line. Lurseth, Nelson, Blake up the middle, gets the tap. Valley a couple of hits, finally going down for it, and some call, and Indianola's going to get hit, and Valley gets the point. So the Tigers leading 8-5 now. And those long rallies that Indianola dominated in the first 2 sets, the Tigers are starting to even those out. Lurseth, Nelson, Overton, right side, tries the opposite corner, and she finds Paydert, and it's 8-6.
That was a great spot. I think Valley thought she might have tried to swing line on that one, but she did switch it up on him.
Valley has made the adjustments. Indianola hasn't been getting the tap overs the last couple of times, so I think both teams trying to adjust and counter adjust, and now off the mark. Ryan Connolly can't get it clean, and Indianola gets a free point on the serve, and it's 8-7. Overton on the serve for Indianola. Belton Olsen on the back. McGraw, Blake, and Nelson up front. Overton sends it over. High, almost right into the net. And yep, Indianola's going to get another one back to clinch the Little Hawkeye Conference title, which Indianola went through, by the way, without dropping a single set in conference play.
Oh, wow.
A full 18-0 in set scores. Overton dominated ranked Pella with a huge service run as Valley tries to tap it over. Lurseth back to Overton, blocked at the net. Beautiful job by the Tigers, and they're back out in front, 9-8. West Des Moines Valley 9, Indianola 8. Fourth set, Indianola leads 2-1. Overton, McGraw, Blake, blocked partially at the net. Valley gets it back. Now blocked by Indianola at the net. Valley has to get it over. Tap to Lurseth. McGraw. She tries to set it over really quick, but the Tigers were waiting for it. Now hit into the back line. Overton. McGraw again outside. Nelson. Tipped up a couple of times. Valley, can they recover? They do beautifully. Belt tries to get the tap over again. Both teams trying to find the weak spot. They're not able to do it. Valley sends it far. Nelson, she tries to tap it over. Here comes Valley. They set up from the left side. Blocked at the net, but they get it back. Now sending it back over the Indianola back line. And the long volley back and forth is won by the Tigers. And maybe conditioning an issue this late after that much running back and forth. Valley leading 8-10, and a long serve ends all the Tigers' momentum. Blake off, slowed on for Indianola. So Lurseth to serve. Overton and Belt in the back line. Nelson, Sloan, and McGraw in the front. Picked up by Valley. Tries the left side, and Indianola tips it up and out. Point Tigers. They lead 11-9. Subs coming on for Indianola, and nope. And the Tigers with a 2-point lead. Belt, Overton, Nelson. Nice job by Valley, off the rafters a little bit. Valley will just have to tap it over. Overton, McGraw, Sloan, tipped up, point. Indianola, and they get back within one, 11-10. The middle hits from Indianola. Gonna have to try and lean on that a little bit more. I think that's what's worked for them the most.
Agreed. Valley's blockers are setting up on both pins, so when they're able to set the middle, it's good.
Indianola, McGraw serving. Gets over, beautiful job. Aspen Nelson sends it back. And Indianola ties it back up at 11. McGraw tries to get Indianola, I think, their first lead in this set. And just too far, Point Valley, and they lead 12-11. You're okay with that kind of service error there? It was just right on the edge,
Yeah.
and that's kind of playing with fire, but
Yeah, a lot of coaches would rather have the serve go out past the end line rather than in the net.
Overton, Lurseth, Nelson just taps it over. Valley, miscommunication running into each other. They send it into Indianola's back line. Overton up the middle. Grover tries to hit it over, blocked up at the net. Valley tries a couple of times. Indianola wants some sort of call, but they're not going to get one. Up the middle again, and Grover sends it down. Point, Indianola, 12-12. Nelson over the net. Valley doesn't get it clean. They're going to have to run for it. They tap it over. Sloan. Nelson up the middle. Olsen taps it over. Nobody home for Valley. And Indianola gets their first lead, 13-12. This is one of Indianola's go-to lineups right here with Nelson serving. Overton, Sloan, and Grover up front. Nelson gets it back. Valley does not get a clean look again. Into the back line. Olsen lets it go. And it's 14-12 Indianola.
That one looked close, but I think the student section really helped out by yelling out for her on that one because it looked like she was about to play it.
Sometimes the referees and the athletes need a little bit of help, and the students are willing and able to provide that. 14-12 Indianola, timeout taken. Do have a quick update again. In our KNIA KRLS listening area, Pella sweeps Norwalk 3-0, and the Dutch are headed back to Extreme Arena. Trying to find some other scores. Waukee headed to Extreme Arena. They sweep Bettendorf 3-0. Waukee right now the 9th seed, number 8 Cedar Rapids Prairie is out. Okay. So Waukee effectively if all the favorites win, Waukee would be the number 8 seed.
Okay.
All right, Indianola trying to ride this wave of momentum. Nelson, deep serve picked up by Valley. They try the middle, tapped out, and beautiful placement. Nobody home for Indianola, and it's 14-13. So the Tigers with this active Indianola student section just gets the serve over. Beautiful into the net, and the Tigers send it back over. Nothing Indianola can do there, and we're tied at 14. Cedar Falls is headed to state. They sweep Iowa City Liberty 3-0. Serve, Olsen. Nelson, far side, Overton. She'll just have to hit it over. Back over, Valley. Nice job by Lurseth. Tipped back over by the Tigers, but they go over.
They call another back row attack on Valley on that one.
So a miscommunication by the Tigers, and Indianola's back out in front. Waukee Northwest defeats Sioux City East 3-0. They're headed back to state. So number 9, number 7, and number 6 are state tournament bound. Valley taps it over into the net, and Indianola's up 16-14. On the serve for Indianola, Valley again. Tries the left side into the net. Oh, that momentum Valley had is blocked away, and Indianola's up 17-14. Valley gets it back, tries the right side, tapped over, blocked by Indianola. And point Valley as it goes out. Pleasant Valley sweeps Linmar 3-0. Number 1 is headed to state. Valley with the serve over. Olsen, Nelson, Overton, tapped over. Valley dives for it. Wow, great recovery as Nelson tries to get it. And they try to, Valley seemed like they slapped it over. Valley sets up their offense. Olsen goes down, takes it out. Back to Overton. Back into the net. Lurseth saves it. Olsen, Overton. Blocked, but out. And Indianola gets the point. 18-15. Indianola's out in front.
Valley coach is trying to fight that point, saying that there was 4 touches and that their block didn't block that ball.
So belt on with Indianola leading 18-15. Trying to win this regional final. Indianola up 2-1. Valley doesn't get a clean return over to Lurseth. Nelson up the middle. Blake. She finds the angle. 19-15, Indianola. Once again, that middle hit from the Indians. Serve over, Valley again, miss hit into the stands. 20-15. Serve over, Valley gets it. Clean look left side. Nope. Indianola's all over it, and it's 21-15. Tigers don't get the return. And a timeout called on the floor with Indianola 4 points away from returning to state. Number 2, Ankeny Centennial sweeps Ottumwa. And the Jaguars are headed to state. What's reclaimed the momentum for Indianola here? Is it just kind of getting rid of those self-errors? Or?
I think so, yeah. And their block is back. I think they really are trying to focus on strong hands, high hands. And so, and their serves. Their serves have been tough for the past couple points, so I think that's helped them a lot as well.
All right, Indianola leading 21-15. Belt on the serve. Hits it over. Valley doesn't get it clean, but they get a good look this time. But Lurseth's all over it. It goes into the net. Nelson has to hit it. And Indianola. Just a good job by Valley to send it into Indianola's back line.
Yep.
Valley serve, picked up Overton and into the net. Indianola, again, not another clean return, and Valley gets back-to-back points. Up the middle, Blake, she finds the spike down, and Indianola reclaims the momentum and leads 22-17. Possible Indianola opponent Dowling sweeps Iowa City West, and the Maroons are headed back to state. So we're just waiting on Ankeny and Iowa City High, and Indianola, whose serve goes into the net. Valley can't get it, and Indianola's 2 points away, 23-17. Overton, serve over, Valley gets it. Tries the right side, beautiful hit. And nobody home on the Indianola defense, and it's 23-18. Serve over for the Tigers. Overton, McGraw, Blake fires it into the back line, but the Tigers recover. They try to send it over. The Indianola block sends it back to the Valley. And they try to hit it, but they can't. And Indianola's at match point.
That was big time to have miscommunication on Valley's side.
Subs coming on. Blake comes off. Grover, Nelson, McGraw up front. Overton, Belt, Lurseth in the back with Lurseth serving. Lurseth sends it over. Valley through the middle. Left side, spikes down, Belt there. Nelson sends it over. Valley tips it up, sets it, right side, kill, blocked and back! And the Class 4A runners-up say Class 5A, we're coming for you! And Indianola's headed back to state with a 25-18 victory. What a match!
What a match is correct. A lot of great things on both teams that happened, and then, like always, a little few errors that could have been easily fixable.
For the third year in a row, Indianola Volleyball is headed back to the Extreme Arena in Coralville. We'll stay on the air here. We're going to end up talking to some of the athletes here for some interviews, and then I got to go down and try and get some pictures at some point. But your thoughts on the match? Valley, give credit to the opponents. They could have easily folded after getting two, quite frankly, some lopsided scores in the first and second set, but the Tigers come back. They hold off a furious Indianola comeback attempt, and Indianola pulls away in the fourth, but what a match from Valley.
Yes, they did. They stuck in it, and they dug deep to win that third set, and didn't go the way they wanted, but they battled really well.
Indianola wins set 1 25-11, set 2 25-14. Valley led for, I'm pretty sure, the entire third set, winning 25-23, and a back and forth fourth set with Indianola scoring. I'll have to go back and look, but I think it was the last 7 or 8 or so to win it, 25-18.
Yes.
What a match. Any final thoughts from you? Thank you again so much for joining me.
Yes, of course.
I really appreciate it. For those who don't know, this was, I asked last night during Storm Surge for Kylie to come join me, so she had 0 time to prepare, and I really put her on the spot so she couldn't say no. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I know it's got to be fun to see.
It was a lot of fun, and it was a great experience to do as well.
Well, so you know, hopefully you, with your sports administration major, this is something you might do in the future as well.
I might have to look into it. It was fun.
All right, well, that's it for you. Okay. I appreciate it. You can go and mingle and congratulate people if you want, or head on back and prepare for this weekend's games. One more time, people go out, support Simpson as well this Friday and Saturday.
Yes, please.
All right, we'll take a short time out. We're going to try and get some athletes on the video stream, and we'll be back after this on Indianola Activities YouTube.